Hi everyone, welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here. I wanted to jump on and do kind of a short video. I say short sometimes and then sorry they go on and on. But I wanted to cover a subject that I think so many of us really struggle with at times, don't quite grasp this concept but want to. And what I'm talking about is being in our now moment, or the idea of nothing happens other than in this now moment, right? That's all we have. Meaning, if everything happens can now happen only right now in this moment, it means that the past is the past and the future is the future, because the only way that you can experience the past was in the past, right? In that now moment, and it's impossible to experience the future in this now moment. So the concept is, or the how do I want to call it, the ideal situation for most of us would be to actually be aware and conscious of every now moment, rather than projecting toward the future or bringing the past memories into this now moment, but ignoring or not even realizing or not experiencing the now moment. So the now moment could be, for some of us, we could be sitting in a beautiful garden and where all kinds of nature is happening, the butterflies, and the garden has beautiful flowers, and there's a breeze, and everything is just ideal. We're maybe having a glass of wine before dinner and relaxing. And so for some of us, we'll notice that for a moment. We'll take it in and notice it, like, oh, this is so nice, and we may even make a remark about it. But are we really even in that moment at that time, or are we kind of stepping away back from that moment? But the truth is, that's okay. None of that matters. What matters is at least we are conscious and seeing the reality of that moment. Or a sunset. That's another place where people tend to stop and see the moment. Well, another place that happens for me is at the ocean, with kind of getting mesmerized with the waves, and especially on a nice day, and so kind of getting pulled in to that. But what I'm talking about, it feels like, is those are rare occasions, and we don't hang out there for the entire time we're there. So even though we're sitting in the garden, as I started to talk about, and all this is happening, at some moment, some thoughts come to mind that either something that we're concerned about, or some memory from the past that has nothing to do with the garden, but something triggered it, or a concern for the future, bringing up issues or decisions that you need to make. So we're often running into those different places which don't even exist, but we're there. So that's how we all tend to, I think, operate most of the time, even though we say that we want to really learn to live in the moment. So what could we do, or is there anything that we can do to help ourselves actually spend a little more time in the actual moment and release and let go what we're thinking about the future or what's happened in the past? So that's called awareness, right? Becoming aware when we're in the moment, but these other thoughts of future, whatever, or past start to come in. mean, it could even be, this happened to me, I may be sitting in somebody else's beautiful garden or in a park, whatever, and I'm noticing the trees and the birds and the flowers, and all of a sudden I start to become concerned about my garden at home. And then that takes me off into thoughts about, well, maybe I could do this in my garden, or that would look better in my garden, or oh my God, I've got to start working in my garden. It's spring, it's going to be too late for me to plant flowers, and start to go off into those things. I'm talking about just so simple, right? It's so simple. But what if we could become aware when we're off and running from this now moment? Well, we just need to set an intention. Just need. Not so easy, just need, but we'll leave it at that. We want to set an intention. And we do that in different ways. I tend to do it when I'm in meditation. I tend to be in that place then where I'm not having a lot of thoughts going on. I'm in a calm, more peaceful place. And so I will become aware of that I want to set this intention to be more aware more often in my now moment. And even in those now moments that I don't like, I want to be in that now moment. And so as we set the intention, and I like to use my imagination of what does that actually feel like or look like. And this is where I'll go back into times of seeing a sunset, the garden, things where I am more likely to stay with. And so then I start to sense, what are those feelings? How does that feel when I'm there? So that I can start to bring in those feelings on a daily basis. Now, another time that you can use this whole idea of in the moment is when you wake up at 3 in the morning and you're so worried about your future. Let's say you wake up at 3 in the morning and you're going, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my mortgage this month because I still haven't found a new job, and there's the story. And so you start to get into that panicky feeling that, oh my God, I'm going to not be able to make my mortgage, and I'm going to end up on the street, and I'm never going to find another job. And then it just escalates into everything that's so negative. We've all been there, right? Well, that is a great time to make your intention to become aware and ask yourself, it's really your higher self asking yourself, is everything okay right now? Right now, in this moment, is everything okay? And then you look around and you go, well, yeah, I'm in my nice home. I'm in a comfortable bed. I can stay warm. I have food to eat. I have everything I need right now in this moment. There's nothing missing. And so what that does is it brings you like kind of a wake up into the now. And the now feels entirely different than all the worry and projecting that we're doing about what could happen. So I've used this often, and it's really, really helped me. I use it all the time when I ever find myself off and running on fear, whatever that fear is going to be about. It's asking myself, is everything okay right now? And there's never been a time that I couldn't say, no, everything is okay right now. Yeah. In this very moment, everything's okay, because it's just being thought patterns that are worrying me or making me feel like everything's not going to be okay. I mean, even if we're not maybe in the most okay position, in that moment, everything is okay, because you're there, and we deal with it in the moment without the story. So it's in a neutral place and strictly taking away all what ifs or should be or I wish it was different, all that away and we get focused on this now moment, everything's okay. Like I'm doing this video right now, and I could be thinking, in fact, I think I am thinking, that the light is getting less right now outside, so this video could start to get dark. And so there my mind starts going there. So I think what I'll do is I'll switch on the light behind me and see if that's going to help. We'll see at the end of the video. But I caught myself thinking, oh my God, it's starting to get dark. So anything can take us off, right? So let me get back to the now moment. And so what I'm doing in this now moment is I'm wanting to talk about what it is to be in the now moment and how we can help ourselves to stay there. It's not the kind of thing where you stay there forever. People, we just don't. We're human beings. And so we're not every moment in that moment. But when we're in situations where we see ourselves starting to build a story, that is the clue. And we want to build stories all the time. I know that's the way the mind works. The ego is constantly feeling that it needs to be handling things, taking care of things, talking about what's going to happen in the future if I don't. It could be, it's anything from making a grocery list to thinking about, oh, what should I make for dinner tonight, to, I don't know. It goes all over the place. It is crazy. I mean, if you really sit for a minute and think about this, it's crazy making. That all there is this moment. Now, first of all, you have to get into what I like to call a neutral place. You have to believe that's all there is this moment. And if you're having trouble believing it, then figure out when it isn't this moment. Figure out when you've been, how the past would be this moment. It's impossible, right? The past is the past. It can't be this moment, and the only thing that can happen in this moment is what's happening. The past can't come in and happen. The thought pattern about the past can come in, and it does, but that's not what's happening in the moment. It's just a thought. That's it. The future hasn't happened. So when we're worrying or thinking about something in the future, it's just a thought pattern. It's not this now moment. So we're not ever going to completely shut down the mind so that those thought patterns don't come in. But what we can do, and this takes practice, but it's so worth it, is allow those thought patterns to go by without attaching to them. They just go by. I'm sure you've heard this idea before. It's like the clouds passing through the sky stays the same. The clouds pass through. No big deal. Doesn't affect the sky. That's it. So if we practice to become more neutral to our thoughts, notice them. That's key. First you have to notice that they happen. Be aware. Oh, there it is. There's that thought. Can I just become neutral? Just let it go, because I'm in my now moment. It's just a thought. Thoughts aren't real. They come, they go. They're the imagination. They're the ego trying to take care of everything. But none of that's true. It's just now. That's true. So we can practice in all kinds of ways how to let those thought patterns just pass by without attaching. We can do that through when we're meditating. That's a great time because, you know, when you first sit down to meditate, for most of us, our minds are pretty busy, going. And it takes 10, 20 minutes, depending on you, for the mind to start to calm down. But eventually it does. And what has actually happened is you've not attached to the thought patterns. You've just let them go. Now, and then in addition to that, when we see a thought pattern, we move into what I like to call a neutral position. So we're not engaging in the story of the thought pattern. I like to see like a line across going horizontally, and in the middle is neutral. So if I'm looking at a thought pattern that's showing up, I gotta get the sense, where am I? Am I going with it and doing the story? Or am I in the neutral position? These are all little mind games, you could call them, that we can play in order to break this habit. It's a habit, and it's a way of being, but it keeps us out of the now moment. So these are the ways that we can become more aware and more conscious of staying in the now moment. In those times, it's kind of like when the thought pattern goes by and you don't hook in, it's like the part of you is just the observer with no particular beliefs or judgments or anything. It's just a pattern. It's like the clouds. I think most of us, if we see a cloud passing through, we're not grabbing on to, oh, I wonder what that cloud is thinking. I wonder if that cloud's going to get through in 5 minutes or 3 minutes. I wonder where that cloud is actually going. I wonder if there's more clouds that are going to follow that cloud. No, we don't do any of that. We just happen to notice, observe, clouds passing. I guess if we're trying to get a suntan, we're at the beach, want to get suntanned, it may be like, oh, I hope that cloud passes fast. Or you look around to see if there's somewhere to move away from the cloud. But that's about all you do. You recognize the clouds passing, covering up the sun for the moment. So all of it is just because, all of this is everything that we're trying to do on our spiritual paths in terms of getting into a more awakened consciousness. We have to practice doing these things. It's not something that just comes to us. It takes practice. It takes awareness. It's like mind training in a way. And it's up to us to find those ways to keep us on track. And it's so well worth it. So well worth it. And feels so much better than just being totally unconscious and being like a ping pong ball, bouncing back and forth from whatever happens to catch your attention. It's like, if we really look at how that happens, is then you're bouncing all over the place, right? Or it's like a dog with a rag doll in his mouth, shaking it everywhere. It's like you're out of I was going to say control. Well, we are out of control, and we can't control. But it's not a pleasing and peaceful life oftentimes to live like that, even though most of us have lived like that for a long time. But now is the opportunity to get conscious of what we're actually doing. And by getting conscious of how we're actually reacting to things and living our life is the first step in allowing us to move in a different direction. So I like to use the being in the moment because it's such a powerful place to be. And it's such a place where we can shift so many things, or shift our beliefs, our attitudes, etc. And it's a great place to hang out in. So I just wanted to do this quick video with a couple of these tips of what we can do when we're out of the moment, or thinking we're out of the moment. We can't be out of the moment because that's all there is. But when we're off and running into the future, or bringing the past, or scared over what's going to happen in the future, just ask yourself, where am I right now? And check it out. Where am I? Okay, I'm not in the moment. No, I'm not right now in the moment. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. And you get conscious. Okay, all I have is this now moment. You look around the room, get yourself grounded, notice whatever's in the room, breathe, and practice staying there as long as you possibly can. And then when you're caught again and you're off guard and you're running with an idea, fear sets in. I should do this, I should do that. All these thoughts, the thoughts that are passing like clouds, you're caught in them, blah, 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 you're going in them, and then boom, you get conscious again. Where am I? What am I doing? It literally starts to work. It's like exercise of anything. The more that you get aware that you want to practice being in the moment and want to catch yourself when you move out of the moment, the more that you keep that in the forefront of your mind, and every moment you work with that, eventually we start to spend more time in the now. And it's very, very pleasurable. It's also the place where we make our best decisions. When we really are in the now, it's when our intuition is at fully there for us. We're in the now, and it comes up with a push or a little nudge. Go here, go there, make this phone call, whatever it is. It offers so, so much freedom. So I just wanted to, like I said, give you a little clue, or some tips, I should call them. See if this will help anybody. I hope it does. I hope it was meaningful to some of you. And I hope that you'll give it a shot. I'll talk more about it in future videos because it's so important. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not easy, because that's not what we're trained to do, right? But it's definitely doable. So I think that's what you want to keep in mind. This is something you can definitely do. And it just takes practice and awareness. And I know some of you that are listening are going, oh my God, I have such a busy life, and I have children to take care of, and I have all these things that are pulling at me. It's very, very impossible for me to just be in the moment. I don't see how to stay there. I get it. I've been there, done it all, know what you're talking about. But actually, it is possible. Even if you just do it a few times a day when you're not feeling so pulled in one direction or another. And when you're, and hopefully you're going to take some time to sit quietly during a day so that you can regroup for yourself. And that's when you can start to put this intention in your mind. I mean, you can do it when you're driving. It's a great time to say, where am I? What am I doing? I'm driving. I'm here in this moment. Even though that seems to be, I think a lot of us have been programmed to where when we're driving, that's when all these bubbles come up, right? All that, if it could be worries, it could be how I have to do, it could be what she said or he said, it all comes up when we're driving, when at the same time trying to focus on our driving, right? But what if we're noticing stop signs, notice it. Scenery we're passing, just notice it. I mean, we're driving. There's nothing, we can't do anything else right now. We're driving somewhere. So let's just be there, driving. That's a great time to try something, to work with our mind. So there's lots of opportunities. There really, really are. Even when you're just sitting down to eat lunch, what am I doing? I'm eating lunch. And notice what you're eating. Notice how that the texture is of what you're tasting. It's these little things that may sound like, well, nothing, that start to work within the mind, to train the mind to quiet down so we can be in this now moment. So, again, I hope this made sense, first of all, and I really hoped it helped some of you, and we'll talk more about it in the future. But in this now moment, I'm going to say farewell, and I'll see you the next time. And in this now moment, if you liked the video, please click like, and If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, and you can hit the bell next to it, and it will inform you when any new videos are going up. So for now, I'll say goodbye. See you the next time. Have a great day, evening, morning, wherever you are in this world. Thanks for being here. Take care.